Hello again, my dear students. In this video, we are going to take the second passage of our reading lessons, which is entitled "With the Elderly in the Modern World." Before we read the passage, we need to answer the following questions. And as I told you in the previous one, I'm curious to hear your answers, okay, in the subgroups. Okay, question number one: What are the advantages of getting old? If you see any advantages of getting old, I need to hear that from you. For myself, getting old will give me plenty of time and to practice my hobbies or to take a rest. Okay. The second one, what are the disadvantages of getting old? I guess that I'm losing some of my health. Okay, uh, or my power. Maybe I will not be able to do things like I'm doing in my younger age. The third one, how does Islam teach Muslims to treat all people, um, to respect them? Okay, and I want to hear your answers of it. Now let's read the passage. Elderly people all over the world are coming out of retirement to earn enough money to feed themselves and their families. In the developing country, the elderly was once protected and highly regarded as a source of wisdom and folklore. In the highly developed West, those who had worked all their lives used to feel they had earned at least the right to a pension and to a comfortable old age. All this is changing as wars, disaster, and diseases hit the third world, and Western governments reduce social security budgets. In African countries like Kenya and Uganda, young people have moved to towns in large numbers, looking for work and leaving their grandparents isolated in rural areas. The stresses and strains of modern life are threatening the time honored tradition of financial support for elder family members, and to make matters worse, there will be a huge increase in the number of old people over 60 in the next few years. Many old people feel no longer needed or respected and may not even be cared for when they fall ill as jobs become scarcer and poverty spread among the working population. In addition, there are many families, particularly in East Africa, who are trying to cope up with the aftermath of AIDS, and it often falls to the grandparent to look after children whose parents have died. In parts of Eastern Europe, massive political changes and economic changes in recent years have met huge price raises for fuel, rent, and food. Some pensioners have had to return to work just to pay their bills. The hyperinflation caused by collapse of the Soviet Union has wiped out many people's savings and reduced the standards of living considerably for most pensioners. In Western Europe, the elderly find it's difficult to make ends meet on their state pensions, and it is now generally accepted that people will need to make their own pensions arrangements for the future. From now on, we can't rely on the social security system to support us when we are old. Okay, I need now you to stop the video and go and answer the questions after reading the passage. Okay, now let's answer the questions. Okay, and check your answers with mine. Number one, the elderly people are coming out of their retirements because they feel bored of retirement or need money to buy necessities or need to have some luxury in their loneliness or want to pass their wisdom to the others. That's right, they need money to buy necessities. Number two, it is clear that the financial support given to the elderly families members will last for long, will be protected, will protect the elderly, may be stopped or is still practiced. May be stopped, and we mentioned in the passage because of what is happening to the world because of disasters, wars, and etc. In the future, it is possible that people will economize to make ends money, governments will raise the social security budget, family will look after their old family members, or people will have shorter life. People will economize. Okay, now let's move to the WH questions. Okay. Um, okay. What was the situation of the elderly in the past like? In the past, the elderly were highly regarded and protected, particularly in the developing countries. In Western societies, those who had worked all their lives felt they had earned the high to a pension and a comfortable old age. Here, the word pension means retirement. Okay, يعني لسنة التقاعد. What is an additional problem to the elderly in East Africa? You need to go back to the word. You need to go back to the passage. Here we have a word. We use it as a keyword. We go back to the passage and skim. We need to read very fast, okay, and find that word, and we can find the answer then. In East Africa, an additional problem for the elderly is that they often have to care for grandchildren whose parents have died from AIDS, adding extra responsibilities. What should the elderly in the West not rely on? What is the keyword? Yes, West not rely on. You need to go to the passage, find that word and answer, and find the answer then. The elderly in the West should no longer rely on the social security system to support them in their old age. Social security system اللي هو زي ان احنا بنقول يعني الشؤون اللي بياخدوها الناس اللي بيكونوا يصرفوا على حالهم اللي هو نظام الضمان الاجتماعي. تمام. طيب. What is the effect of the collapse of the United Soviet Union on the elderly? What's the keyword? Soviet Union. Okay. The collapse of the Soviet Union caused hyperinflation, which wiped out many people's savings and significantly reduced the standard of living for most pensioners. Right. Let's go to the next question, which is fill in the space with the word from the list. Okay. If we go back to the question, okay, here we have what are the words? We have saving, we have security, retirement, disasters, strain, wisdom, threatening, and reduce. Okay, we need to find the answer. I want you to answer the question beneath this one, and then we'll go back to the question before. Here, let's match the words with their meanings. Here we have rural, scarce, cope with, isolated, aftermath, a massive collapse, and wiped out. We need to match them with the words. Okay. Here are the answers. Okay. Rural, it is related to the countryside. Okay, it is related to the countryside. يعني منطقة ريفية. The opposite of rural is urban. Okay, scarce means rare. Cope with means struggle to overcome. يعني يتكيف على بس بصعوبة. Okay, isolated, separated. Isolated يعني I live in an isolated area. Nobody is living around me. I'm living alone. Okay, isolated. Aftermath means result. Sorry, result, effect. Okay, what is the aftermath of, for example, the war? Okay, I mean here, what is the result of the war? Okay, we are learning online. Okay, the next one. What do you mean by massive? It means very large. Okay, so here we have big, large, massive. Okay, collapse. Okay, downfall. um, يعني ينهار. wiped out, destroy. انمسح. تمام. طيب نرجع تاني للأسئلة اللي عندنا ونحاول نجاوب عليهم. السؤال الأول اللي قبله. Some people find the life of boring, others find it interesting. Which one? It is retirement. Okay, it is the retirement. The high strain of modern life may lead to nervous breakdown, strains We have to go through security at the airport اللي هو آه الأمن تمام. Stray means stress, by the way. Earthquakes usually lead to the worst of disaster. That's right, it's a disaster. People's savings are becoming less and less because of price raises. The elderly are known for wisdom. That's right, while the youth are known for enthusiasm. In order to be economically independent, we must reduce spending. The Western way of life is threatening our traditions and values. Okay, here we have answered the question. I hope you have answered the question before correctly. Thank you so much for your listening.